People deluded. Arsenal 3, Burnley 1, and I'm pleased to be back to winning ways in the Premier League. I'm pleased to see Mesut Özil back in the side. I'm pleased we won, like I've just said. And obviously, I'm pleased to be spot on with my prediction, like I said in my preview on Twitter, in 3-1 and a Aubameyang hat-trick. If only I had the bottle to place a bet on that. I mean, yeah, I might be a few bob up today or this weekend, but back to the game at hand. Now, Burnley, they haven't been in form. You've seen the preview. There's all sorts of negative stats and stuff. They had a good season last year. They had a good season, if I remember rightly, the season before. It's been a bit of a tough run. They were unlucky against Liverpool and they lost. Spurs, they took Spurs down to the wire. So, although they've been in bad form, they've been decent against big sides, definitely of late. Obviously, City and Chelsea have drummed them in, and now we beat them. So, yeah, we know this is a game we need to win. We know they're going to come here to defend and stuff. That being said, I'd probably the first 10 minutes, obviously, in fact, throughout the whole game, but first half, throughout the first 10 minutes in particular, obviously, we were deciding possession and things like that, and we were playing some good football. I personally, obviously, there was a whole host of changes. I wouldn't say whole host of changes, but you saw Monreal start at centre half, Xhaka was back in midfield, Maitland-Niles at fullback, and a couple others. But I'd say there was more of a willingness from Guendouzi and all the players to play forward a bit quicker and a bit with a bit more zip and break the lines, as Unai Emery said in his pre-game talk, more often than has been the case in other games. Fair enough, Burnley, like I said, they've been in form. They're an inferior side technically than us, so they're going to set up to defend and get the basics correctly. So with that being said, we're going to have the lion's share of possession. I felt our fullbacks, Maitland-Niles, was having joy. You saw him very early on. What was it, like the first minute? Good combination play between everybody. He forced Joe Hart to make a good save. And if I remember correctly, Lacazette put a good ball into the box. And then they had one in the first half. So we were decent little play and things like that. I would say to credit to Burnley, though, and throughout the whole game, and again, they walked away with nothing to show from it. But I think they definitely, considering the form they've been in, started off in a way more positive way than us. Yes, it looked like a 3-5-2 of sorts, or something along them lines, and how they, in terms of how they set up. I felt they sat well. I actually felt they had more of a willingness to get forward than's been the case in games I've seen in recent form or match of the day and them things from them. They were getting us three versus three, so there was enough for them, even when they went to go down, to be encouraged. But that being said, the 14th minute, Aubameyang manages to, obviously, just being in the right place, being at the right time, and making a career of this, being a lethal striker, obviously puts us ahead. But for me, it was lovely play down our right hand side. Now, throughout the whole first half, throughout the whole game, Kolar had Bardsley and all them guys there on the left hand side on toast. Kolar, probably the best player on the field today. If it wasn't for Aubameyang scoring 2 goals, I would have loved to have said hat-trick. But it's a lovely, patient move from us. I think Ozil's involved, Lacazette's definitely involved, Maitland-Niles is involved. It's a lovely bit of play to get that goal. I mean, Ozil, what a pass from him. Kolasinac, however you want to pronounce his name. Sorry, Siad. Lovely bit of play from him and desire to keep the ball in, and we did the rest. And it's 1-0 at this moment in time. I would say, though, I did feel, on the topic of what I said earlier about Burnley having half chances and stuff, I felt that throughout all our possession, we've obviously scored and we've made Joe Hart make some saves, but I felt we could have been a bit more ruthless in that. I felt, yeah, it's good that we've scored in the first half, but I just felt Burnley, if I was a Burnley supporter or a neutral things, I would see just enough to be encouraged, or a Burnley manager, just enough to be encouraged to believe I could get something from the game. Because although they're not necessarily troubling Arsenal, and I felt Arsenal were never threatened by them really defensively, and we weren't really scared, and you could say there was an air of complacency, showing the willingness to get man 3v3. Leno, he didn't have much to do, but he was called upon today here and there. They obviously won a corner, obviously the set pieces, and they were doing all right in that regards, to be honest with you. But yeah, in that regards, there's not really much more to say on it other than we're just completely dominating. I was so impressed with Maitland-Niles and Kohler today. Our fullbacks providing a lot of width, real zip in our play. Ozil's picking the strings. I feel Lacazette and Aubameyang are working hard, and it's looking like it's cool. Obviously, we then saw a bit of a formation change, sadly, when Monreal came off injured, and I hope him and Maitland-Niles are alright, because we got to go again on Wednesday, and we've more or less not got anybody fit at this moment in time. But going into half time, for me personally, people, I asked anyone in my house. I shouted when the ref blew for half time, because I felt happy. We're leading at half time for once. I did feel we dominated the game and things like that, and we're playing some good football and definitely playing some enjoyable stuff for our fans. But the critical man in me, I felt we needed to have tested Joe Hart a bit more, make them a bit more nervy. Like I said, they've got stuff to be encouraged by, so we should have killed all of that. I was liking how Ashley Barnes and Soccer Artist were constantly getting into little scraps, and I really rate Soccer Artist, man. I'm not saying he's the best centre half in the Prem. I don't think he's even top 5, maybe even not even, maybe he's top 10 just about. But I like what he's brought to the club, man. He's just, pardon my language, just shithousery. Like he's someone you'll see doing Sunday League stuff. Him and Cola, I really like what they were doing today, man. I really liked them in that regards. But going into half time, I guess we're doing what we've obviously scored. That was a big thing. I felt we needed to score early, and we did. We scored within 14 minutes. I felt we were playing good stuff. I felt the only criticism is you could probably just look for a couple of chances to test Joe Hart. Burnley probably have enough to be encouraged to go in the second half and have a go of it, because it's only still 1-0 at this moment in time. But we're playing some good football, and I really can't have too much to say about it, to be fair with you. It's a game we're expected to win, so we can't get too excited. But that's my feelings going into half-time, essentially. Probably would have liked El Nene and a couple other players to do better with their half chances they were presented with as well. But yeah, going into the second half now, and I actually feel Burnley started off better than us. Literally the first or so minute, they were having a willingness to go forward in the second half. You thought they were going to get something out the game. And to be fair, again, you guys know I watch every game twice, so I really like the combination bits of play, and I really want to appreciate the goals we scored. It's a lovely counter-attack in the 55th minute, or not the 55th minute, sorry, or literally whenever it is. I can't remember the minute. It can't be that much quicker than half time. But it's naive defending from Burnley. Ozil gets let out of jail because I think he tried some flick. It's a lovely ball from Guendouzi into the path of Cola. Again, Cola, you just need someone to work a bit harder for the extra man. Work hard, for their extra man. Work hard for the team. He shows a willingness to do exactly that. And then obviously, the ball eventually, I think Lacazette plays it. Eventually, it falls to Lacazette. Eventually, it's played into the path of Aubameyang. It's a good strike. He's helped by the deflection of Ben Mee, I believe, but he's put it into the back of the net, and it's 2-0 at this moment in time. And you're thinking this should kill Burnley, to be honest with you, kill all optimism and things like that. But you've got to give them credit. That was in the 55th minute, I believe. They kept from it went 2-0 down. I give Burnley credit. It's like they thought, alright, cool, F it, we've got nothing to lose, let's have more of a goal. You saw, even in the first half, it did look a bit end-to-end in stages, but it looked like it was opening up again. They tried to, in the second half, they tried to make it a dogfight, they tried to gout us into fighting. I felt with that came a lot of nerves, both from the fans and some of the players, because you saw Leno probably a bit nervous with a couple of his kicks, and you could actually see Lacazette, Ozil, Socrates telling Xhaka telling several people just to calm it down a bit and act nervy. Whether we're still reeling from the Southampton and Spurs defeats respectively, I'm not too sure. But it's again, I need to watch the game again, but it is trash defending from us to concede that goal, man, to be honest with you, Burnley's goal. It's just trash. It's trash defending from a set piece, allegedly, if I can't even remember. Either way, we're switching off. We're second best of balls. We're not dealing with stuff we can deal with headers. And again, Ashley Barnes, I don't even remember if I've taken him out of my fantasy team, which I'm annoyed if he has been. He scores his 2-1 and Burnley got nothing to lose, and you can detect a bit of nerves. Our crowd they temporarily silenced us. We don't want to be the side to lose to Burnley, similar to when we let Palace score and Southampton ending their run of wins. We don't want it to be against us, and there were some nervy moments at 2-1 down for Burnley to take advantage of. Ashley Barnes had a couple half chances. Leno had to come out his area and them things there. I did think we'd win it, but I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't nervous. I was definitely more nervous than I was in the first half, because although we were flying forward and we were a bit naive in incidences in the first half, I just felt we was all on top of them. Burnley, I saw nerves started to creep into our players. Obviously, ultimately we did enough. We still threatened them. I felt it was harsh to take off Lacazette, to be fair with you. Well, it is what it is. And I've told you, look, considering Burnley conceded a lot of goals in the last 10 minutes, you felt there was another goal in this, and obviously another change by Unai Emery, bringing on Thingy. Obviously bringing on Iwobi, who hasn't been in the best of form in the dying embers of the game. Again, it's another counter-attack. The ball eventually falls to him. I'm pretty sure Ozil set him up, forgive me if I'm wrong. He puts it into the back of the net, and it's a good little bit of it's a good goal for Iwobi, man. Obviously it wasn't a great finish and he's been in bad form, but just for a little bit of faith, just because he started off the season well, he's gone a bit flat of late, just to remind himself that he's got that quality, just for belief, man. Like, even the celebration, I don't think I'm not saying do backflips and stuff, and I'm not saying he wasn't happy, but he just looked a bit dejected, man. And he is it's known, Wenger did say he's very harsh on himself, so just for him, it's nice to win 3-1. Ultimately, we did what we needed to do, people. I believe, forgive me if I'm wrong, we've got Brighton on Boxing Day, so the games are coming thick and fast. After Brighton, we then have a big one against Liverpool at Anfield, somewhere that hasn't been good to us in the last few years. But today, on the basis of today, again, it's only Burnley and they're not in good form, but we keep our winning run over them. We get back to winning ways. I felt we played some good football, especially with the combinations and the willingness to break the lines. We only let ourselves down defensively for the goal, and I do believe on another day, maybe a couple of the half chances or moments of inspiration I've been alluding to throughout this whole video that Burnley had, they might have been able to exploit. But man to a man, I felt we did well. For me, the man of the match is probably Kola, but I have to say slash Aubameyang, because at the end of the day, he scored a hat-trick. I mean, he scored 2 goals. Why do I keep saying a hat-trick? You remove his 2 goals and it's 1-1. And at the end of the day, that's what strikers are paid to do. But I feel Kola was amazing today. So between them two, I feel Soccer Artist had a good game as well. Made some tackles and them things there. Man to a man, Maitland-Niles, you didn't have the best of games against Spurs. Then this is what it's about. It's about putting in performances. You're poor against Spurs, rolling your socks up and putting in a good performance in the next game. And that's exactly what he did. So man to a man, I felt we did very well today. It's concerning, sadly, with Monreal's injury and Maitland-Niles was holding his groin and things like that. We're dropping like flies already. January can't come soon enough so we can do some business. Mislintat, you got us Mavropanos, you got us Guendouzi, you got us a lot of good players. You even Soccer Artists allegedly. We're gonna need your magic in the winter. So in the winter transfer window. But on that note, what can I say, man? We was expected to win, we needed to win, and we need to get back on into winning runs, and we did that today. So happy DG, and I hope all Arsenal fans are happy. Come on, you Gooders. What can I say, man? Match of the day can be watched today. I'm out, people, man. Thank you for watching and saluting as we approach the end of the year, man. Nothing goes unnoticed. Without you guys, nothing is possible. So it means the world. On that note, 3-1 to the boys. I'm out.